my name is Ann Diaz, and today we're going to be talking about box and whisker plots. A box and whisker plot is a visual tool that is used to graphically display the median, lower and upper quartiles, and the lower and upper extremes of a set of data. So the set of data we're going to be used is this one right here. So the first step to find a box and whisker plot points is to find the median. The median is the middle of all the data. So here we'll see that if we just use our fingers to cross off the numbers, we can work our way in to find that the median is 9. Okay, the next step is to find the lower quartile, which is the lower half of all the data, the middle of the lower half of all the data. So here we'll see that we already have the median, which splits the data in half. So we don't use the median and we look at the lower half, and then we'll work our way in. So see, it's 6. So our lower quartile is 6. The third step is to find the upper quartile, which, like the lower quartile, it's the middle of the upper half of the data. So again, not using the median, we work our way in and we get 13. Next, we're going to find the minimum and the maximum. The minimum is the smallest number of the data, or the least number. So in our case, it will be 3, because that's the smallest number out of all of our points. Step 5 is to find the maximum, which is the biggest or the greatest number of all of our data, which is 14. Now we're going to graph using the 5-number summary, which is another term for these 5 points used to find the box and whisker plot, on a number line. So first, we're going to do our minimum, which is 3. Then we can do our lower quartile, which is 6. Then our median, which is 9. Then our upper quartile, which is 13, and our maximum, which is 14. So those are the points. And once you have the points on, then what you're going to do to make it look like a box and whisker plot is you're going to draw a box from the lower quartile to the upper quartile, then a line through the median, and then 2 lines coming out, or your whiskers, one from the lower quartile to the minimum, and the other one from the upper quartile to the maximum. So now we're going to do one more example problem with this together with this in-class worksheet. So I'm going to pass out a worksheet and a set of dice to each student. Okay, now that you all have your worksheets and your dice, let's get started. So the first step is to roll the dice 8 times to fill in the blanks below. So we're going to do that. 3 is our first number. And then we have 11. Next we have 9. Then we have an 8. Then we have 12. Then we have a 6. A 5. And finally a 3. Another 3. Okay, so now the second step is to put your numbers in order from least to greatest. So we're going to write our 2 3s. Then I think our next lowest is a 5. Then a 6. Then an 8. 9, 11, and 12. Okay, so now that we all have all of our numbers written from least to greatest, we're going to find the different numbers from the 5-number summary. So first we're going to find the median. So if we use our hands working our way in, you see that we don't land on one number, because this, instead of being 7 numbers like our original data set, is 8. And when it's an even amount of numbers, it works a little bit differently. So see, we have 4 on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what we do is, instead of just picking one of these 2 middles, we have to find, or one of these 2 numbers, we have to find the one that's in the middle of them. So what is in the middle of 8 and 6? What's in the middle of 8 and 6 is 7. So that will be our median. Okay, now we're going to find our lower quartile. So we don't use the median, and we look at the lower half of our data. So then we'll work our way in. And again, we have two numbers that are in the middle instead of just one. So we find the number that's between 3 and 5, which is 4. And then we're going to find our upper quartile. So we go to the upper half of the data, work our way in. The middle between 9 and 11 is 10. And then finally we find our minimum and our maximum. So now what we're going to do is we're going to number our number line. I'm just going to do it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. Now I'm going to start with our minimum at 3. Put a little dot. And then I'm going to put our lower quartile, which is 4. Then our median, which is 7. Then our upper quartile, which is 10. And then our maximum, which is 12. So then I'll show you how to draw the box. So we do the box from the lower quartile, which was 4, to the upper quartile, which was 10. That's where our box is. And then we draw a line through our median, and we connect our lower and minimum for one whisker, and our upper and maximum for the other whisker. Okay, now what I want you to do is to roll the dice yourself, and this time you're going to roll it 7 times, so it will be another uneven set of data, and write your numbers and then put them in order and graph it out. Then, what I'm going to send home for your take-home assignment this week is a fill in the blank. So I want you to fill in, these are going to be the 5 different ones that we talked about today. And then I want you, on a separate piece of paper, to draw a box and whisker plot for each problem. So the first 3 problems will be odd numbers, or odd data sets, number of data points. And then the second 3 will be an even number of data points for you to draw the box and whisker plots. Thank you so much for listening.